Welcome back to the RLCTS. We are here at Pikes Peak for race 7 of the truck season. Let's take a look at where our drivers will be starting for today's race. On pole is the 48 of Braden Varga. He will be joined on the front row by Bobo Jones to his outside. Zayden Davidson rolls off third, and Luke Evans is making an impressive start in fourth place. Other notable top 10 starters, J.R. Bedard put it up to 6th. Seth Bayless starting 10th. And Zachary DeLello rolling off 9th. Dunlaprad starting back in 20th with Mitchell Armstrong's 22nd. Drivers high in points are going to have some ground to make up. And looking further back, you could see a couple of debuts. William Ayers rolling off 30th and David Richardson 31st. And looking at everybody starting good and bad, we are looking for a very good race here with drivers coming and going throughout the field. That is all we have for the lineup. Let's fire those engines. Trucks are rolling here at Pikes Peak with the pace truck in. The 48 is going to lead this one off. Race 7 of Season 1 will kick off to a green flag deep in the zone as Varga leads him into 1. Bobo Jones using the outside lane, trying to clear here. Who's going to be the first one to get to the front? Zayden trying to figure out who to push. Bobo Jones cuts down, not quite clear there. Major Robinson entering the battle in 4th place as Bobo Jones is going to lead the first lap. Major takes a peek down into the inside, but it's going to be Varga who clears out for the lead. 48 leading this thing around early so far. Top 5 back to Luke Evans, 42. A Cup Series points leader, leveraging his great qualifying position. Bobo's taking a look at the inside. Not quite going to be able to hold that line around the inside. Varga gets away from him. And they're battling back here. These are spots inside the top 10. DeLello, J.R. Bedard, Bob Burns using the low line to make their way around, but you can still hold your own up on the high side. It is not completely out of the ordinary to have a good defense at a place like this. Just outside the top 10, Seth Bayless running around the outside to get clear of the 88. Further back, Kyler Schustry in his new outfit, racing for Honda, teammates to the 42, and seeing what he can do, running around the exit 4. Noah Hart, he's doing himself a solid job so far. He's got good qualifying that he had. Now he's trying to make the outside work. With DeLello behind, they could be able to get something going. Bob Burns throws it in the inside. They're 3 wide in this moment right there. JR taking the outside. But when you have a slow exit, that really makes the people behind you a bit impatient. Back up front, Varga trying to hold the outside. Bobo Jones has gotten in there. The 62 looking for the lead, but it's going to be Major pushing. Major Robinson looking to get out front again after his win last race. Got the 62 clear here. But Varga just actually kind of has a bit of a rough spot there. Not quite able to hold as much speed as he wants. As Major throws it down the inside. Bobo on the outside. He's going to be able to hold as much speed as he wants. He gets to the outside. Looking at 3 wide. Nice view from the helicopter here as Varga shoots through the middle. Excellent job. He gets down low after Bobo backs out, and it's going to be the 48 continuing to lead this thing. Major Robinson has not led a lap. Bobo looks like he's about to fall out of the top 5. JR is right there as DeLello. Really aggressive in these entries. The 57 is looking for all the spots he can get his hands on so far. But that exit speed just doesn't come for him, and he's going to lose up all the ground that he made up. JR gets in front of him. Top 10 back to Evans. It's not like they're just kind of laying around back here. Like, if you look, this is outside the top 15. So both the Mitchells, Carter and Armstrong, using the bottom to get around here. Tyler Resendez has made up plenty of ground since the start. Henry Thomas making a race, actually qualified for this one. And same with Alexander Rowe. And Dunlaprad back there. It looks like the top 20 is where he's trying to make it to. But it has not been easy if you get marred back in rough qualifying. A lot of drivers kind of knowing that. Seeing the names back there that are trapped. Monaco, Sanford, Terzic. All of them just in a rough spot early on. You kind of see the vantage point down the back. Back up to the top 5. Noah Hart is putting on a pretty good run. He's got both of the drivers he wants to pass in front of him side by side. But Zayden shoots to second. DeLello once again trying to drop it all the way to the inside. Does not get the 62, but the 4 he's going to give. And Ryan Griffin's going to shoot on past. The 88 looking solid so far is out front. Vargas trying to use the second line to defend from Davidson's attempt to make it to the lead. It's looking pretty good for the 75. They had a little bit of a rough spot at Nashville, but a second place run with plenty of laps to get the lead is a pretty solid setup so far. Major in third. He looks to the inside. It's not looking like he's going to have that much of a run on exit so far. Noah Hart's behind him. Looking for some daylight. But the 75 is hanging in there. They're ganging on Varga. With a good enough run, the 75 could try to make something happen for the lead. He switches bottom. Goes in the corner, but not being able to hang the grip he wants on his line is going to really be annoying. The outside, Bob Burns running 7th, and here you can see a lot of the Hondas racing each other. There's quite a bit of Honda racing drivers here, seeing the 88, 66, and 98 all within shot of each other with the Maple Leaf 42. So a lot of just kind of friendly racing with the team around each other. Looking at Bobo Jones and Zachary DeLello, both getting around Noah Hart. Still very early in this race. 70 laps, and we just finished 16. Major looks all the way low. It looks like 3 wide bottom entries don't really work out, and Major knew that. Kind of backed out a little bit. And seeing DeLello trying the same thing. We've seen the 57 do this a lot in the little time the race has been on so far. But Bob Burns using the inside as well. They're making up ground. Solid job there. Taking a little further back, they got sprung out a little bit. Both the Cologne trucks found each other 79 and 9. Ryan Acosta, he's just kind of sitting there 17th, so a lot of action going on outside the top 10, even if you aren't there. Ryan Griffin, he's making up ground, looking high or low on certain drivers. Oh, what is going on here? Spin. Ryan Griffin, Major Robinson. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Everybody's going to get on by there. Caution's out. And the leader is coming through 3 and 4. Varga is going to make it back to the line. And it's going to be to see what the 88 was thinking back there. Going down into turn 1, Ryan Griffin just looks like he wants to go low, but has to check himself up to not hit Noah Harden. I don't want to say he turned it to the right, but it definitely looked like unnatural movement in the corner entry, as everyone else is looking to avoid the accident here, taking the low line. But look at Charles Sanford enter the picture. He splits the gap there, and Tim Simmons also misses it. Just a weird incident there for our first caution. Pit stops, and it's everybody coming in. Top 3, Varga, Davidson, DeLello. They put about 20 laps on that green flag run, so expect everyone to come in. This won't be the final pit stop, but it's still important to nail this one. Seeing some of the drivers coming into their pit stalls, the 88 and 18. Definitely the shuffling of track position in that small green flag run has me optimistic to see a much better show going forward. A top 3 in or a top 3 out. And Bob Burns and Bobo Jones back there to round out the top 5. We're going to catch a restart here pretty soon. Back at Pikes Peak earlier than anticipated, and the 81's chances have gone up in smoke. Bob Burns bringing the truck behind the wall. And he will be finishing last today. A very unfortunate end for one of the flagship teams of a truck series. Now looking at the top 10, Varga, Davidson, DeLello, Jones, Bedard rounding out the top 5. With Stapleton, Hart, Resendez, Bayless, and Armstrong, Mitchell Armstrong, rounding out the top 10. Now, when we drop this restart, all the drivers are going to be very antsy for track position, so we'll see how the 48 can play defense this time, and whether or not any of the Little Falls trucks can take the lead here. Restart. Green back out early in the zone as Davidson is all over the back bumper of the 48. Looks inside for turn 1. They're going to hold the outside. DeLello looking for second. And a big view down the backstretch. You could see all the moving around back there. JR, bottom of 3. DeLello got put up high. He's going to lose a lot of spots. Another unlucky break for a team that really just wants to stop having unlucky breaks. And JR moving up to 3rd. I mean, we've seen the 4 have good qualifying pace and not really turn it into race pace, but seeing the 4 with good race pace, now that is just going to put a big smile on my face and Fitzwater's face. His truck team has been through it. Zayden Davidson looking to the inside again. He is not going to give up. A persistent predator trying to take the lead from the 48. Varga and that Blue Fury team has just been kind of snake bitten with bad luck to start. Varga's teammate, Jackson Buys, actually got the top 10 at Nashville and is looking to follow it up with a good run here. Varga clearing out to the lead as the battle for second really kicks off. Look at Tyler Resendez in the top 5. We haven't seen him in a race in a while, and now he is making the most of his opportunity. Trying to pull that 19 team out of go or go home. Oh, they all go low on him. Bobo Jones getting help from Mitchell Armstrong. And that's going to be just be too unfortunate for the 19 if they start losing positions like that. JR and Zayden looking strong through 1 and 2. Seeing if the 75 can just make up the ground, just lurch in a little bit at a time. Varga not having as good of a 3 and 4. Zayden Davidson's looking to the inside. He's got a very strong run this time. Can this be the pass for the lead going into turn 1? And yes, it is. New leader, 75. We're going to take a look through the field as the top 5 have gotten single filed out. Noah Hart, Austin Murray, they're in the top 10 looking pretty good. Nathan Stapleton and Mitchell Carter just outside the top 10. Ryan Acosta's having a solid day, top 15. Ryan Vasquez, Brandon Beal, they're battling for a top 15 spot right now. Eric Monaco and Dunn LaPrade pulling themselves up. Henry Thomas, he's run inside the top 20 so far. And just outside the top 20, William Ayers and Jackson Baez, 21st and 22nd respectively. They've been making up a little bit of ground as this day has gone on. Kyler Shoestry, just 23rd. He's got a group behind him he's looking to hold off. Tim Simmons, 97, and David Richardson in the 45. Another right lane debut going on at Pikes Peak. And seeing Ryan Griffin and Major Robinson, they're trying to pick up the pieces, make their way through this, but it's just tough sledding. Charles Sanford also outside the top 25. It's been a rough going for him. Then the top 30 rounded out by Jared Schenk. Terzic is trying to get himself in the top 30, but it's just been a lot of traffic in front of him. And then Craig Newhouse near the back, and rounding out this field, 3 of the Crossroads trucks. Mashburns, Blevin, and Rogers all kind of in a bit of a bubble there, hoping that this team can turn their fortunes around throughout the course of the race. Looking up here, you can see mid-pack battling is still very much like hype. Alexander Rowe, he's 3 wide middle. Nathan Stapleton's got himself on the outside, as Monaco has got a lot of trucks behind him, trying not to cause an accordion through the corner there. Henry Thomas just managing the lines, high and low, looking for any sort of good finish. And Rowe still middle of 3. Nathan Stapleton might be getting tired of seeing him there. They get it sorted out a little bit to side by side. Now Shoestry makes the move on Thomas. Fighting like dogs. There's just one slice of the action. A little bit more forward into the top 10. You can see Carter and DeLello with 29 making up another spot as the 57 kind of being down on his luck. Armstrong looking to the inside of Resendez. The top 5 on the line. And he is not going to get it. Has to settle back in line. I want to go back to that fun little midfield battle. It kind of evaporated. Guys like Luke Evans, they're up on the high side now, and they have to just kind of ride out the run since we have just crossed the halfway point of the race. But at the same time, there is some action left in store for us today. And these drivers will make sure of it. There's Evans and Vasquez. The 9's kind of been underrated, but hasn't had as good of a run as Cologne Motorsports had hoped for. But the 19 is doing great so far. Look at Charles Sanford on the rise. He's making up positions left and right, hoping to get himself into a good finish. I'll keep you posted on that team. As Dunn LaPrade, he gives up a top 3 there. Eric Monaco slicing his way through. Getting a little bit more positions on for the 52. Seth Bayless is on an island as looking inside the top 10. Noah Hart, he's on the bottom. DeLello's gotten to the bottom. Look at Resendez trying to make a pass on Bedard. 4th place on the line between these drivers. A lot of them are not doing particularly well in the title fight, looking for a big points haul. And Varga, sitting 2nd right now, is looking for any way he can get around to and around Zayden Davidson. Further back, the top 10 positions on for exchange. A lot of side-by-side going on. Just seeing Seth Bayless back there looking at all this. There's plenty of positions up for grabs at near the front. So a lot of this is going to come down to just tire wear if this goes long enough. Looking at Mitchell Carter kind of have a high corner and lose a lot of exit speed. Seeing this big blob of battling going on. And there is no sleep in the Truck Series. Everybody is giving it everything they've got. Looking at 3 wide now. Carter being put in a bit of a rough spot. And look at this. The gap is being brought down. Varga is looking to take this lead. The 48 and 75 do battle again. They're side by side down the back. Varga enters 3. Zayden can't leverage the outside. The 48 back out front again. Zayden's going to collect himself up, get back in line, and take another stab at this. He's going bottom. JR back there in 3rd. Keep your eyes on him. Looking every bit as powerful as the other leaders. Looking to make a statement here. There's Zayden. The top 3 all on a line. Bobo Jones in 4th. He's right there with him. And seeing there's a big gap from the top 11 out back to everyone else. Like, seeing a lot of, I wouldn't say like pack racing, but like little small packs. Kind of like wolf packs. You know, when you and your buddies go speeding on the highway together. It's kind of reminiscent of that. And just as fun, too, to watch. Everybody is going high, low. It's a battle of battling everyone in your pack and also managing your stuff. And the top 4 are all kind of together here. Top 5, I should say. Keep your eyes on this 29. He started himself outside the top 10. Hasn't been running near the front the entire day, but is slowly working his way to the front position. But 29 could be a factor before this is all said and done. Noah Hart being scored in 7th right now. Looking to the inside. DeLello going with. And looking at like other drivers, especially within like the points battle, Don LaPrade is back there a little bit, 17th, trying to pull away from the group that he's in front of. A lot of these drivers are all battling for the positions that they can grab. Vasquez around the outside, Jackson Baez on the inside, and a couple of those Hondas have found each other on the inside. Ryan Griffin, David Richardson, Luke Evans, even William Ayers can line up there. Those 4 Hondas strong could make something happen, especially all getting past the 26 of Henry Thomas. And seeing just kind of that gap there and who's catching up to the main pack. Monaco, Sanford, Rowe. All this. Maybe these front guys may have burned it out a little too fast. looking near the front. Davidson's back to 4th. And J.R. Bedard is looking for the lead. Someone trying to catch up to Varga. Mitchell Carter sitting 3rd. And can J.R. do this? You just got to nail it 3 and 4. And he'll have a good exit if he can have that. He'll have a great shot at the lead. Setting up the 48 the same way Zayden did earlier in the race. Looking for turn 1, and this time he is going to keep it. Varga slots back into 2nd. Look at what's going on all the way back here. Murray, DeLello popping bottom of 3 again. A little bit of preserve. You can't really preserve anything now. About to say is didn't want to like run into him, but the aggression looks like it is in full swing right now. Varga looking to take it back. The 48 back around the inside. He's not giving it up. Carter up high. Still sitting 3rd. I think the inside lane's going to get him 3 and 4. Look at Varga go. To the lead. Top 5 back to Noah Hart as you see a lot of single file going on near the front. Varga is just praying that these guys behind him just race each other to a point where he doesn't have to do as much work to hold this lead, because he has been hounded at every opportunity the second he gets out there. And JR is back to the back bumper. Has a little bit of an iffy exit there. The 29 of Carter is more than happy to take advantage. He goes deep into the corner, but can't quite get the same turn as the others can. Kind of tough on exit. Zayden looks to the inside if he can make that work. He's going to go for it. He's got help from Noah Hart. I don't think the outside's going to come for Carter. As JR, he is continuing the fight here. He gets it back down around the inside and back to the lead. J.R. Bedard. Bobo Jones entering the top 5. He's still got a little bit of speed left in the 62. Looks middle, doesn't take it. Interesting choice. Just want to be there at the end. It's all that matters. Top 10 drivers getting interesting there. Murray's been in the top 10 for a while. And now Eric Monaco enters the top 10. But Hart has a bad corner entry. That's going to give Murray a chance to clear here. Zayden still trying to wrap the inside. Carter's been kind of put on the outside for a while now. Very tough sledding there. 15 to go. The laps wind down. The patience wind down. The intensity and the excitement turn up. Carter jumping to the inside. He's looking for a way around. The shortest way around might be a little bit tougher on the tires, but when everybody's worn, it doesn't really make a difference. JR is riding away with it, hoping to put this chapter to end with him at the top. Look at all this, just everybody back to Nathan Stapleton at 15th. They're all here. Drivers are pulling up in big numbers. Not exactly battling for the lead, but near the front. And at the front, Carter and Varga come to pit. Green flag pit stops begin in earnest. Bobo Jones putting up a fight for second. Can he get there is the question. He's looking. They get back in line. Seeing plenty of battling going on behind him, though. Bobo Jones gets the inside lane, but he uses it to come down pit road. Monaco's in. Rowe is in. Bayless, Stapleton. Driver staying out. The Little Falls duo stayed out. Murray and Armstrong are there. See Carter exiting pit road. J.R. Bedard, he's out front. Look at Noah Hart just outside the top 5. J.R. Bedard comes in. Davidson, DeLello, Armstrong, Hart, Resendez. I think it's easier to tell you who's staying out at this point. See Murray up there. He stayed out. Charles Sanford, he's still out. The 29, Mitchell Carter, came in, and he is putting down some pretty good time for being one of the first drivers down pit road. He gapped Varga pretty hard. Murray's coming in. Sanford's coming in. David Richardson also coming in. Those are about the last 3 drivers to come down pit road. Look at these battles, even on pit exit. They're coming out. They got more drivers joining up with them. Bobo Jones, he has to run down those drivers. Bedard, DeLello, Armstrong. J.R. Bedard has a pretty solid pit exit moment there. But the moment belongs to Mitchell Carter. The 29 takes the lead as Austin Murray, Charles Sanford, and others coming off pit road that time by. Looking for second place. Bobo Jones is going to look low. Sanford rejoins. The 62 fights for second as it's Mitchell Carter's race to lose right now. 29 way off into this distance right there. Lap 62. Top 5 spots still up for grabs. Monaco and Sanford down low. DeLello up high with J.R. Bedard. Let's see where all the drivers exited pit road. Seth Bayless back to the top 10. Stapleton, Buys, Noah Hart. Both the Cologne trucks, the other ones, full-time ones in the top 15. And top 20 back to Ayers in the 31. Dunlap had a little bit of a rough stop, but it's Zayden Davidson. Green flag pit stops are the 75 team's kryptonite. And there's going to be a big talk back at the team shop about that one. Henry Thomas is back there. Yates Terzic. Top 30 back to Ashton Blevins. As we're taking a look at all the trucks and where they came out. Luke Evans. That good qualifying just wasn't meant to be. Mashburn, Shoestry, and Ryan Acosta had a really bad stop. But it's his teammate currently leading this thing. Mitchell Carter is looking untouchable with a 3-second gap. Take a look back within battles in the top 10. You can see Charles Sanford making the moves. That 54 has a really good truck. Just seeing what he could get by the end of this thing. He's got Monaco in his sights. DeLello looking bottom of 3. And this time he's making it work a little bit. He's hanging in there. Varga, they're still going 3 wide. Mitchell Armstrong's joining up with them. And the 57 is kind of just using his might to clear for 2 positions there. Big move by the 57 team. Eric Monaco, Bobo Jones, they've cleared out. Charles Sanford running 4th. Just see up top just how single-filed everything is. Mitchell Armstrong's up on the high side. Nathan Stapleton to his bottom. 33 definitely needs to stop the bleeding here because it's when crunch time, you need all the positions you can get. Bobo Jones, Monaco. It's coming to 3 to go here. Charles Sanford looking to the inside. He's going to take the position away from that 52. Bobo Jones coming down the back straightaway. What is this? Mitchell Carter is slow on the back. They're passing him. He's got to get down to pit road. Some sort of issue, and it's going to be trouble. The 29, the 33, the 7, the scenes down at turns 3 and 4. And this is going to bring about the end of the race in the most chaotic way possible. Mitchell Armstrong, he's in it, and they've got to get it gathered back up. What on earth did we witness here as Bobo Jones takes the caution? We got to see what just happened. What a devastating turn of events for the 29 team. They were running so good, and the flat tire just gives out. And that's just going to cost him everything. You see the drivers down low trying to make it through, but I think when they hit that 33 coming in, that's when it all goes wrong. Just a terrible, terrible turn of events. Taking a look at the crash that ensued, let's see the 33 goes a little bit high. Stapleton's down low. He just doesn't slow down in time when the 29 trying to get down. The Mitchells collide. Jackson Buys piles into it. Ryan Griffin had a bit of a moment in that one as well. Vasquez getting turned by Murray. And seeing the drivers going high or low to try and avoid this thing. I mean, it's a good time to pick up positions if you're not involved. But if you are, it is an absolute plot twist to the end of the Pikes Peak race. Unfortunately, we will not be getting the race back under green. This will end under caution. And the 62 of Bobo Jones is headed for his first win. Charles Sanford second, Eric Monaco third. But in a crazy end to this race, it's Bobo Jones to win at Pikes Peak. And in what a way it is. Looking at the other drivers in the top 5, DeLello, Bedard. But let's take it down to the full finishing results here and dissect what we just saw. Oh, man. You could not say you saw that one coming. But let's take a look at where everyone else finished in this crazy race and how it turned out. Bobo Jones picking up the win and Charles Sanford moving all the way to second. He and Eric Monaco picked up top 5s after carving their way through the field. Zachary DeLello with a much-needed 4th and J.R. Bedard rounding out the top 5. Looking through the field, Dunn LaPrade, Davidson, both getting midfield finishes after their fair share of hardships. And a couple of drivers picking up top 15s in their first ever right lane race. But at the back of the field, you see a lot of drivers that didn't have as much luck. But of those, your heart has to go out for Mitchell Carter. He had it all, and it just wasn't meant to be. A lot of others in the back DNFing from crash damage, Burns with a mechanical failure, but it was Buys and Griffin that wrecked out. That is all we have for this race today. We will see you next time. Take care.